You ask for me?
来看冷面的小美女，
还行行，还可以的。
跟外国朋友在这一起整。
哥们儿，
哥们儿挺黑呀。
你就不应该那么说，你知道吗？
啊？
你说的一点都不礼貌，你知道吗？
So this guy is shopping, as you guys can see, he's buying something. So the Chinese guy comes and says, "Hello, you are too black," but he doesn't think that this guy, who's most likely African, can understand Chinese, and he says hello. Now the African guy is checking him, saying what you said is not polite at all.
代表你的肤色，他并没有歧视你，
没有，
黑呀。
你不应该那么说，这个不是特别的去尊敬人，你懂吗？
他并不是歧视。
没有，我知道。
Don't say anything else.
别讲了。
不好意思。
没事。
可能理解不了这个意思。
我能理解你的意思，没事。
So you don't understand what I mean.
我能理解你的意思，没事。
那你要吃什么？
啊，我都定了。
Because I understand exactly what you mean.
民族都是有每个民族的肤色。
让我大哥长得挺。
来哪个？来，对，要那个15的。哎，好嘞。炒冷面来先生。不过去了，姐姐。哎，好的，要一点点辣椒。
This guy is trying to kill my mood, you know. He's just trying to kill my vibe. I don't like racist people at all, you know. I don't like people who are being racist. He's just trying to deny that he wasn't trying to be racist just now, but I could hear him really clearly that he was trying to be racist to me. I know.
Now look at him making like he looking at his phone. He don't want that smoke no more. That's right. He over there acting like he doing something completely different. Because whenever people get caught talking trash in their own language and you know it, they start doing other stuff, being funny.
You can see it.
Guys, I've seen this before, even in Poland. I don't speak Polish. My Polish is very trash, but of course, people will do this to you, all right? I have one of my good friends named Nee out of Big Bay. He's a Polish guy. He speaks Polish completely, like 100% fluent. He's been there, you know, close to 15 years. So people will come and they will say things in Polish as if he doesn't understand. And he can just basically respond and say like kuva, which is like F you. Like he responds and talks to them in very, very great detail, and they are shocked, and the look on their face is crazy. And all of this really comes down to one question, like why is the guy living in China? And the guy is living in China because he most likely doesn't have any opportunity in Africa. Now he does sound like he might have been, I can't really tell the accent. He's moved around. He might be visiting, he might be British, I'm not sure, but usually a lot of Africans that go to China go through this sort of mistreatment. Same thing with William Ma, he's telling me that all the time. Till he got good and he can actually speak Chinese, so that when they come with him, he can respond. And again, this all goes to the failure of African countries to make sure that people are there and not going over to China.
So back in 2017, I also studied abroad in China, and I was living in a tier 2 city at that time. At that time, I had to rent an apartment that was off campus, and prior to that, I had to have it approved with my school administrators. So at that time, I'd been in China for about 3 or 4 days and hadn't found an apartment that I really thought suited me. And so I finally found one, and you know, it was close to school, it was pretty cheap, and the amenities seemed to be quite nice as well.
Shout out to this brother's hairline. Damn, that's like kid in play style flat top. That's excellent.
So I got in contact with the landlord, and she gave me a little tour. I thought it was great, and I wanted to sign the contract. So I got approval from my school, and they were ready to send the documents out to her and get it going. And then the next day, I had been brought in to the office by my school administrator, who basically told me that the landlord didn't want to rent the apartment to me because I was black.
Whoa! The landlord didn't want to give him the contract because he is bliggity black.
Explicitly said, I don't want to rent my apartment to a black person, and I don't want a black person living in my apartment. And this was the first time I'd ever experienced anything like this before, or been blatantly told on the basis of the color of my skin that I couldn't live somewhere. And
he sounds like he's an American too, right? So many times we think, and I'll be honest with this, living in Europe, you would think that because you're African American, you may have advantages over Africans that live in Europe, okay? And wasn't many of us there, but yeah, we did have certain privileges, but one thing remained the same is that we were black. And it didn't matter that you was from the United States or Nigeria or Zimbabwe. If you were black, they didn't want anything to do with you. Those who felt that way. It didn't matter to you you had British citizenship.
It was really unnerving for me, and I was visibly very sad and very angry, and I just really didn't know what to do at that point. I'd only been in the country for about 3 or 4 days at that point, and I had gone there to study Chinese. I was so excited to meet Chinese people. I was so excited to just have this immersive experience finally after I'd been studying Chinese for so long in college and on my own prior to that. And when I got there, I just realized how much of an other I actually was.
Oh, Negro, wake up call. Learn Swahili, player. You be in Tanzania. I don't know about Tanzania because there's a lot of land scammers out there right now, so you might not be able to go there. But Kenya, you know, hey, opportunity in the black languages. Why don't we understand what that? I mean, I don't speak Luganda. I know some words here, but you know, you're not going to get the opportunity from there. It might be a good language to learn in the future for business and all this other stuff, but hey, if you're not going to be accepted, don't go.
And it was just a really depressive situation for me. So eventually, like 1 or 2 days later, that landlord then came to our school and wanted to find me, and she took me out and had a conversation with me, and basically what she said was, it's not that I don't want you to live here because you're black, it's because you're foreign.
You went with her? You are silly. I'd have been like, oh, you don't want me to be there? F you then, Bia. But you actually went and went out with her so she could explain it to you.
I don't know if she was trying to cover. I don't know if that's better or whatever, but it was just really weird. It was just really weird. And I really hope that other people don't have to experience things like that, because it's a moment that I've never forgotten in my life. Eventually, I found a better apartment, thankfully, that I wound up liking a lot more. But that really kind of sullied my opinion of China when I first got there.
Yep.
A couple of months went by, and I definitely will say that I had some malice in my heart toward that situation.
Absolutely.
And then afterward, I kind of began thinking a little bit and trying to not make myself think that the actions of one person were representative of the whole. There's actually a Chinese saying that's 一概而论, which basically means you take the actions of one to be representative of the whole. And I realized that if I wanted to have a clear and candid opinion of Chinese people, that I would have to look past that situation and to look at people as individuals rather than looking at them in terms of whatever I perceive them to perceive me as. So yeah, that was one of my most extreme examples of racism in China.
Okay, he's right. You should never look at everybody the same, but at the same time, you also need to know that you are black. And always keep that in mind. I'll talk about situations that I went through. I went through my own little shares of racism in Poland, although I did enjoy Poland quite a lot because they left me alone, and you know, I like that, right? But there was a time where Russia was threatening Poland to come through Ukraine. And of course I was doing really well that time financially. Everything was, I was having it my way. And my mom was saying, hey, you need to go back to Uganda because I don't know what's gonna happen with Russia. And I said, well, if Russia comes through Ukraine to Poland, I mean, I'll just go to Warsaw and go to the US Embassy and I'll be okay. She said, son, you're black, okay? So while you think you're gonna go to the US Embassy and come back to the States as a black person, as an American, it's right, you are American, but you're still black and they're gonna leave your ass right there. So get your ass out of there now, right? Always remember when you guys go to these places that you are black. Don't ever forget that part.
Where are you from?
I'm from Kenya.
So for how long you've been here in Hong Kong?
Let's just say 2 years, yeah.
Would you say that Hong Kong is racist?
Well, I mean, everywhere is a bit racist, but I don't know if I'd say Hong Kong, go as far as to say Hong Kong is racist, but anytime people encounter people that they're not used to seeing so much, of course, they'll react in certain ways. Of course, like let's say you can get stared at a lot, for example, or sometimes people move away from you in public, just small things like that. But it's not bad, it's not bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
You think it's just because it's different, they are not used to that?
Yeah, I think that's mostly it, yeah.
Okay, I like the mindset.
Let me just say this, okay? An African would have a different perspective than him. And the guy says he likes the mindset. Of course, because nobody's moving away from him. As a black American, we're gonna take that a lot more offensively than African. This is something that's very lightweight for them, okay? You don't wanna step by me whatever. I'm glad to be here in Hong Kong or in China. I'm seeing the opportunity, and it's a better opportunity than where I came from, so I'm exploring that. An African American is going to look at that completely different, right? Like, oh, you don't want to be by me, like, you know, whatever. This is how y'all acting. Well, then we're going to start having some level of animosity towards the people too. And I think that's the mindset and the mentality versus an African American maybe living in China and an African living in China. Whereas an African won't have so much of a big deal about the racism towards them from people, because again, they're going to look at it completely different than us.
I need y'all to tell me if I'm tripping or if these people were racist. Actually, no, I know these people were racist. I just want to tell you about it. Okay, so a little background. I go to school in DC and we have off-campus lunch, which means I can leave the school campus and go get lunch at one of the restaurants around town because they're all close in the vicinity and they trust us to come back. One of my friends has come in sometimes with like a little chicken combo thing.
She's in Chinatown in DC.
She's like, oh my gosh, it's so great. You get 3 pieces of chicken, fries, and boba all for $12. And I'm like, you know what? That is pretty great. That is kind of a steal. So me and a couple of my other friends decide to go to this place. She doesn't come this time, but we all go. We get there at 1 o'clock. The timestamps are important. It's 1 o'clock. We get there, we walk in. The place is called TKK Chicken in Luna Hall in Chinatown. Drop in the address right now. Chinatown, Luna Hall, TKK Chicken. Okay. So we're looking at the menu, and it seems like you can get the combo she was talking about for like $12 or $13. So I'm like, okay, so my friend goes ahead of me, and he orders like the chicken sandwich version of the meal, and it's $13. I order right after him, and I order what my friend said. It's $18. And I'm like, why is it $18? So I'm like, okay, maybe she was talking about a different thing and I accidentally ordered wrong. My other friend goes after me. We order the exact same thing. Hers is about $4 less than mine is. I'm going to get to that part in a minute, but all 4 of us order and it's about $110 right now. So we're waiting. They give us our boba that came out in a reasonable time. The first guy that ordered, he gets his food first. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm next because I ordered second. No, the guy that ordered last, he gets his food next. Oh. But he and the first guy got the same thing. So I'm like, okay, maybe that takes like a shorter amount of time to make. I don't know why a chicken sandwich is shorter than 3 tenders, but whatever. But I'm not going to trip about it. So they call a few more people. And I'm like, okay, well, I definitely have to be next, right? No. They call my friend who ordered after me, but ordered the exact same thing as me. They call her number first.
All her friends must be white. She must go to like George Washington or something like that. She don't go to Howard. For sure, she must go to George Washington American Catholic University.
They call her number first. And I'm like, that was kind of the first little thing that I'm like, these people might not like how much pigment I have, but still, I'm not going to trip about it. You know, maybe they just got the order wrong. So I'm like, okay, well, I definitely have to be next because we had the exact same thing. No. It's about 1:25 for this point. So we've waited like 15 minutes for all of them to get their food. And I still don't have mine, despite me ordering second. We keep waiting. A bunch of other numbers
and paying more money
get called. Every person that goes up there that has their number called, they're the color of this side of my palm. Okay, not that, they're this side. And one of my friends is like, do you want me to go ask them where your food is? Because I got social anxiety. I don't want to ask. So I'm like, yeah, okay. So he's like, do you know when number 37 is going to be out? No, my friend's been waiting for like 20 minutes. And they look up at me and they're like, oh yeah, it's going to be 5 minutes. Do you want to guess if it was 5 minutes or not? Just a little reminder. We got there at 1 o'clock. All orders were placed at 1:10. They did not give me my food until 1:50. My order number was 37. They got to 46 before they decided they wanted to give me my food. Remember how I said my bill was like $4 more than my friend's for some reason? My white friend, mind you. I look at her receipt. They charged me extra for the boba and sauce. Why was I charged for sauce? Because the boba is supposed to come with the meal. They decided to charge it separately. When they asked if I wanted sauce and I said, yes, I want honey mustard, they added another tax step despite it being free on my friend's receipt. Like, at first we were kind of joking, like, oh, they give you the black tax or they don't want to give you your food because you were black, as a joke. No, that's exactly what happened. Because even when they finally did call 37, I was about to give me the food, I could see the lady was hesitant to hand it to me till I showed her the receipt. Like, this is my shit. Why am I taking someone else's food? You saw me pay for it. Like, at first I thought I was reading too much into it. There's no other reason that they would have charged me more and then waited 10 people before giving me my food as the only black person that was ordering there, other than for the fact that I was black. So, TKK Chicken, Luna Hall, Chinatown. Don't go there if you don't pass the paper bag test, I guess. And if you do go there, be super nice to the workers, because they're so sweet. Yeah, that's all. I'm never going there again.
Whoa. So it seems like TKK Chicken in DC, where this place is, did offer an apology to her. So this is Chinatown again. So with blacks, we're seeing correlation.
So many people have asked me about racism in China. Like, are the Chinese racist? You know, racism is something that is everywhere. I mean, it's natural. You know, that's human behavior. But every country has different level. I've been in China for a long time now, and I've never experienced, anything related to a racist act or a racist attitude towards me. I have no experience with that. And I do have friends who have lived in China for 10, 11 years, and they haven't encountered any instances of racism in China. And to be real, China is welcoming, and the Chinese are very friendly, and they are always willing to help. Once you have a problem, they are willing to settle the problem. They are willing to help you, even on the streets, you know, at the clubs, you know, at the airports, you know, at the train stations. You know, once you have a problem, they are always willing to help you. As a black man in China, you are treated as a celebrity. You are a celebrity. You always encounter people in the street. They want to take picture of you. They want to talk to you. They want to know how you live. They want to know where you're from as a black man. So you are almost like a celebrity, and they treat you very well. China is a peaceful country, and you don't need to worry about your color to live here. You don't need to.
So he had a different experience. I mean, it's the first one I've heard of that, but it could be true. Everybody has their own experience. Says, hey, they treat you like a celebrity there. But what do you guys think? We saw it on video, what the Chinese guy said to this guy on camera. So subscribe, guys, hit the bell. We're out.